Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are going up against DarkMatterWolf. Now I know you guys know him, but in case one or two of you maybe don't, I will link his channel in the description down below. Now we did 6 games, so this isn't the longest video in the world, but yeah, they were good games. He was using a test Pokemon he wanted to try out against like a meta-relevant team. So I do have my meta team, as usual, using the same Pokemon you've seen, Vigoroth, Lantern, Noctowl. You know, I have the Pokemon that you'll see in the tournaments. Some of you had wanted me to try out other different types of Pokemon like Scizor, and I will. I'm going to be trying out Scizor, going to be using Vespiquen and other Pokemon, but for the past week or so, I've basically been battling other YouTubers and other really strong opponents, so I wanted to try out the best Pokemon that I have and whatnot, and the Pokemon I plan on using, so that's why it's basically been the same team for the past week or whatnot, but we will be trying out other Pokemon soon, I guarantee you that, because there's a bunch of other Pokemon that I do want to use. But yeah, so he's using test Pokemon for 4 of these battles, and then he uses his main team afterwards. He just wants to try out some Pokemon, and yeah, some of the Pokemon are good, like Magneton. Some Pokemon I haven't seen before, like Staraptor, so I don't know how they perform or whatnot. But yeah, just test Pokemon, so you can't really, I guess, judge the matches or whatnot, just because, as I said, the teams like test Pokemon. He did say he was making a video of it, so I guess his video will be up at some point of these battles. But either way, we do go ahead and take game 1. But yeah, so pretty fun games. Definitely always a pleasure to battle some of these other YouTubers, although we just hit Ultra Friends earlier in the week, or last week or something, so we decided to have our first set of battles, which we did. But either way, for game 2, we do lead with that Lantern. He switches into Meganium, so we're going to have to pull the switch immediately into Noctowl so we can get a bunch of wing attacks onto that Meganium. We're going to be hit with Frenzy Plant. I decided to take it. I don't know what else it could have been. I guess it could have been Earthquake, but we still wouldn't have taken that much because we resist that as well. But that's why I decided to take it. But it was just Frenzy Plant, and we fire off a Sky Attack onto that Meganium, taking a shield, and we actually have another Sky Attack ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and use that and take his last shield. So bravo to Noctowl for taking both of his shields. We do actually get knocked out, but I'll take it. It was worth the trade in my opinion. Bringing out that Vigoroth, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to take a Frenzy Plant, or at least we wouldn't want to, so he actually pulls a switch though, and we just fire off a Body Slam and switch immediately into Lantern to take his move, which happens to be a Brave Bird. Now, that doesn't do a lot of damage, but for a Brave Bird, I guess it's decent against the Lantern. I don't know. Either way, we fire off a Hydro Pump, which I knew would knock out Magneton because of how frail and squishy Magneton is. Although it is a good Pokemon, it is frail. We're going to fire up a shield right now to block that and then just finish him off with Water Gun. So we do go ahead and take another game. We don't win all of these games. He does beat us, you know, once or whatnot. But again, all these games are really fantastic and whatnot, as I say in every battle video, right? But we're going to jump into another match beginning with Lantern. He does begin with Venomoth, so this is another favorable matchup, at least in my opinion. I mean, Confusion is doing a good amount of damage to us. Counting Confusions just to see how long it takes him to get to Poison Fang, or when he does get to Poison Fang or whatnot, he's going to go ahead and block that, and we're going to go ahead and take whatever move it happens to be, and it is going to be that Silver Wind, not Poison Fang. So we do take that, and he switches immediately. Now, he actually got the buff there, but it didn't show it, I guess because he switched, so I didn't know he got the buff at that point. But either way, I switch into my Noctowl, taking that Frenzy Plant, and we have enough energy to fire off a Sky Attack, but just charging up a little bit onto Meganium, and I'm going to be using it soon because I knew another Frenzy Plant would knock us out or would take a shield, right? So we do fire off a Sky Attack, which will knock out his Pokemon. He brings in his Magneton, so I'm going to use a Sky Attack to do a little bit of damage, not too much, and we'll just let Noctowl go down. Bringing in Vigoroth, and Vigoroth is just doing a lot of damage with counters. I do decide to block this Magnum Bomb because we want to stay healthy, right? So we knock out his Magneton, and then he brings in his Venomoth, and there you could see that he got the buff. That image, or that that buff didn't show up, I guess because he immediately switched, which was interesting. But we do have back-to-back Body Slams, which actually doesn't knock him out. But yeah, just doing quite a bit of damage. I do decide to take that silver win. That was my mistake. I should have blocked it. I didn't realize how low my lantern was. I forgot how low it was. So we actually do get knocked out. So that was a mistake on my end. I still had a shield left. Should have used it to protect my Vigoroth, and then we would have done more counter damage. We probably would have been knocked out, but then we would have had lantern, which probably would have finished them off with water gun. So that was definitely a mistake on my end, but that's okay. Yeah, I just forgot how low my lantern was, but that, as I said, that's fine. But we're gonna begin the next match. Definitely have the advantage. He's gonna charge up a little bit. I tried to switch, but I somehow accidentally hit Sky Attack. I didn't mean to do that, but again, what can you do, right? You know. But we bring in Vigoroth to just get counters off on him, taking the Magnet Bomb, excuse me. Actually doing a good amount of damage to us, but we do go ahead and knock out Magneton. And we're just waiting to see what he decides to bring in. But I'm just going to use Body Slam immediately anyway, which will be okay against Venomoth. He is going to go ahead and block that, and we do get to another Body Slam, so I'll definitely fire that off. This is the last Body Slam we can get to. He's going to block that one, though, and he'll knock out our Vigoroth. Confusion is just so strong. I want to try it out on Venomoth. I do have a Venomoth, you know, obviously, but so not with Poison Fang, unfortunately, but we do want to try it out. Using that Sky Attack with Noctowl, and then he brings in his Meganium, and I believe I'm able to get to the Sky Attack. Yes, I am. So we get to a Sky Attack, which will absolutely destroy Meganium. He does survive, but I knew I had the game because I have 2 shields, and he's very low, and I have a Noctowl out. So we just go ahead and knock out his Meganium. So we do go ahead and win that one. So, yeah. But we're going to go ahead and jump into more matches, and I believe those were all the test matches. Now he's using his final team or whatnot, or his meta relevant team. Either way, I decided to lead with Vigoroth both of these games. We only do 2 battles because I saw his team. We showed each other our teams, and none of his Pokemon could counter my Vigoroth. I mean, he really had no counters. He had no Heracross, or not that you need Heracross, but no Vespiquen, and no counters to Vigoroth. So Vigoroth was a 100% safe lead, in my opinion, no matter what he led with. He didn't have Venusaur, he had Sceptile instead, so I felt comfortable leading with my Vigoroth every single time. Of course he had Vigoroth as well, but I just decided, we'll just go with the same teams for these battles because Vigoroth, as I said, pretty safe to lead with that. It's not a guarantee or anything, but because, as I said, he does have Vigoroth of his own, but it was still pretty safe in my opinion. But anyway, he gets to his Body Slam before we're able to get to ours, unfortunately, and he does knock us out. So just thinking about it for a little bit, I do decide to bring in Lantern, and he actually pulls the switch into Sceptile, so I'm going to switch into my Noctowl to take this Leaf Blade, so we just about get Leaf Blade. We get that Noctowl in there right on time, so before we have to take Leaf Blade with Lantern, which wouldn't have been good, but we actually take an Aerial Ace that time, so I'm just going to charge up energy, and I believe I do take another one. This is Leaf Blade. Yeah, I do take a Leaf Blade because I'm able to feint him with Wing Attacks. Now we have a Psychic and a Sky Attack for his last Pokemon. So we get off that Sky Attack against his Vigoroth, and it won't knock it out. So we get off one more Sky Attack because we charged up all that energy, and this will knock out Vigoroth. So that's a good game. So, yeah, for the last match, I'm just going in with the same team because, as I said, I felt comfortable with my lineup. I felt comfortable with leading with Vigoroth, so I'm just going in with the same exact team, leading with Vigoroth again, and he does lead with Noctowl. So again, a favorable matchup for us, and this all depends on shields, right? I mean, it depends what shield your opponent's willing to use, what shield you're willing to use, and whatnot. But we do go ahead and charge up enough for 2 Body Slams, so I'm going to fire them off consecutively. He actually gets off a Sky Attack before we can get off the second Body Slam. So I guess a little bit unfortunate for us, but that's okay. He was going to be able to get it off anyway, even after my 2 Body Slams. But he does use a shield on that last Body Slam. I'm going to go ahead and commit with my Vigoroth because, as I said, I knew Vigoroth was pretty good against his team, so we're just going in for counters, hoping to feint him out. So we do actually go ahead and feint that Noctowl. We have a Bulldoze and we have 2 Body Slams ready to go, so I was like, you know what, Sceptile's coming in, we're going for both of these Body Slams. So he's going to block one of them, and then we get off another Body Slam, so we're going to go ahead and do a lot of damage to Sceptile, hoping to get to another one, not able to do it because that Leaf Blade charges up so fast, doesn't it? So he knocks us out, and we bring in Noctowl, so he's actually going to pull the switch into a Lowland Golem, so we're going to switch into Lantern. So this is obviously a favorable matchup for us, just trying to do as much damage with Water Gun as possible. Wild Charge does a lot to us, but I was okay with that. I decided to go for Thunderbolt instead of trying to feint him out with Water Gun because I thought he would have knocked me out first, and he probably would have, honestly, but then we knock out Sceptile with Water Gun and take that win. So yeah, those are really good games, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.